This is the chilling, blood-curdling story of Judy Lynn Jones, a 25-year-old woman whose life took a horrifying turn. This tale encompasses love, horror, and immense pain, culminating in an unimaginable tragedy that led Judy to spend the rest of her days behind bars. Brace yourself as we delve into this harrowing narrative, where innocence is lost and the consequences are eternal. And if you're a fan of true crime documentary, then make sure to hit that subscribe button for more of such content from this channel. It was a warm April in 1985, just a day after Easter in Warner Robins, Georgia, the home of Robins Air Force Base. Judy Jones, a single mother who had recently started a new relationship, found herself in a state of panic. Her little daughter, 5-year-old Tevya Manson, was nowhere to be found. Filled with worry and desperation, Judy reached out to her neighbors, alerting them about her missing child. Tevya had been gone since the previous day, disappearing on Easter Sunday of all days. It was a terrifying thought for any parent to bear. The neighborhood rallied together in a collective effort to find the missing 5-year-old. Everyone was determined to leave no stone unturned in their search for Tevya. The Houston County Police were fully engaged and committed, their resources and expertise at the ready. Day and night, the search continued tirelessly. Neighbors scoured every possible location, hoping to catch a glimpse of Tevya or any clue that might lead them to her. Fear gripped the community as they contemplated the worst-case scenarios. Despite their exhaustive efforts, the search yielded no results. The realization sank in that Tevya's disappearance was no ordinary event. Either she had been forcefully taken out of the county, far away from the neighborhood she called home, or something terrible had happened to her. With this grim realization, the investigation took on a new sense of urgency. The authorities knew they had to uncover the truth behind Tevya's disappearance. Every lead would be pursued, and every angle would be explored in their quest for answers. The small community, bound together by their concern for Tevya, waited anxiously for any developments in the investigation. They clung to the hope that their little neighbor would be found safe and sound, praying for a positive outcome in this distressing chapter of their lives. As the search for Tevya progressed, hope slowly transformed into horror. Just a few days after the search efforts began, a chilling discovery sent shockwaves through the community. Tevya's lifeless remains were found, cruelly stuffed into trash bags and callously discarded in a dumpster in the neighboring city of Macon, Georgia. The details were unspeakable. The killer had subjected Tevya to a gruesome fate. Her flesh had been violently separated from her bones, which were then crushed and placed in a separate bag. The brutality of the act was incomprehensible. How could someone murder an innocent 5-year-old child in such a heinous manner and go to such lengths to conceal their crime? The realization that Tevya had been intentionally taken from her loved ones forever and that her life had been snuffed out abruptly shook the entire community to its core. The grief and anger that engulfed the neighborhood were overwhelming. As the investigation deepened, the police began to question those close to Tevya. It was during these interviews that inconsistencies emerged in Judy's account of the events leading up to her daughter's disappearance. On Easter Sunday morning, April 7th, 1985, Judy had allegedly told Tevya's friend that she was out of town for a commercial shoot with a famous actor. However, Judy had previously claimed to have been at home when Tevya went missing. The police became suspicious of Judy's conflicting statements and brought her in for questioning. What unfolded during the interrogation was a tale of cruelty and savagery that sent shockwaves through the entire community, rattling them to their very core. The horrifying truth gradually emerged, painting a picture of unimaginable horror. The details were difficult to comprehend, and the residents struggled to reconcile the heinous actions with the person they thought they knew. The story that unfolded was one of unimaginable cruelty, leaving the community in disbelief and profound sorrow. As the news spread throughout the neighborhood, a sense of collective mourning took hold. Tevya's innocent life had been taken away, and the pain was shared by everyone who had come to know and love her. The search for justice became an urgent mission, as the community demanded answers and a resolution to this harrowing tragedy. The truth behind Tevya Manson's tragic fate lay within her own mother, Judy Jones. To understand what truly happened, we need to delve into Judy's role in this horrifying tale. After parting ways with Tevya's father, Judy found herself involved with a new boyfriend named Tyrone Robinson. Robinson, 32, a divorced man confined to a wheelchair, harbored a deep discomfort towards Tevya, the 5-year-old daughter of his new girlfriend. This discomfort soon transformed into something far more sinister, and Robinson's animosity towards Tevya grew stronger. The reasons behind this hatred remain unclear, but it held a sinister purpose. Easter Sunday morning in 1985 marked the culmination of the mounting pressure for Judy to rid herself of her own child. The events of that morning would forever change their lives, and the truth would emerge through Judy's confession. On that fateful day, Judy brought young Tevya to Robinson. In a shocking act of cruelty, both Judy and her boyfriend took turns relentlessly beating the defenseless child for a harrowing 25 minutes. The blows rained upon her, fists and a mop handle causing unimaginable pain. By the time their vicious assault ended, Tevya's life had been snuffed out. Upon realizing the horror they had unleashed, Judy attempted to resuscitate her lifeless daughter in the shower, following Robinson's disturbing instructions. In a desperate act of disbelief, she tried rubbing Tevya with alcohol, desperately hoping for a flicker of life. But it was in that heartbreaking moment that Judy discovered her daughter had already slipped away, her fragile breath stolen forever. What came next was a chilling cover-up, one of the most gruesome in history, masterminded by Judy and her boyfriend. In a macabre attempt to erase their crime, Judy dismembered Tevya's body and tried to burn the remains. However, their efforts proved futile. Undeterred, Judy resorted to boiling the dismembered body parts in a trash can atop a gas stove. The unthinkable act continued as she separated the flesh from the bones, crushing the skeletal remains. Finally, the fragmented evidence was sealed within trash bags, which Judy callously deposited in a dumpster located in the Macon area. The revelation of this horrific sequence of events would set off a tumultuous roller coaster ride through the ensuing trial. The shocking details of Tevya's murder and the subsequent cover-up sent shockwaves through the entire Houston County community. Hearts shattered, and the quest for justice began, propelling the community into a state of collective disbelief and profound grief. The trial that gripped the community unfolded over the course of a year, drawing significant attention from residents far and wide. All eyes were fixed on the courtroom, eager to witness the pursuit of justice for Tevya Manson. In a shocking turn of events, Judy Jones openly admitted to the heinous act of murdering her own daughter with the assistance of her paraplegic boyfriend. However, Robinson, her boyfriend, took a different stance during the trial. He denied any knowledge of the events that transpired on that fateful Easter Sunday morning. Robinson claimed that his only awareness was that Judy had reported Tevya as a missing person. Yet the diligent work of the detectives uncovered new evidence that contradicted his claims. The detectives unearthed information that revealed Robinson's knowledge of Tevya's death and Judy's desperate attempts to conceal the truth. This revelation shed light on his active involvement in the tragic events that unfolded that morning. The community was left reeling from this disturbing realization, struggling to comprehend the depths of the deceit and cruelty that had unfolded within their midst. Ultimately, both Judy and Tyrone faced the consequences of their unspeakable actions. The court delivered its judgment, sentencing them to life imprisonment. On April 21, 1986, Judy was sent to the Arendelle State Prison to serve her sentence, the weight of her guilt firmly cemented within the confines of those prison walls. Robinson, however, sought to challenge the court's decision, hoping for a different outcome. He lodged an appeal, desperately seeking a reversal of his guilty verdict. Unfortunately for him, the appeal proved unsuccessful, and the guilty sentence remained steadfast. Did the system fail Tevya Manson? In April 1984, when she was 4 years old, the Houston County authorities learned that little Tevya was a possible victim of child abuse. An officer and a caseworker visited her home at 134 Appian Way to examine her. One of the neighbors contacted authorities to report that Tevya told her that she was being beaten by her parents. When the authorities spoke with the 4-year-old, she would not repeat her story. She had a cut on her forehead, and the authorities wanted to remove her, but the judge denied their request because they could not prove any abuse. A year later, Tevya lost her innocent life. So, who's to blame? Drop your comments down below. The Warner Robins community, still grappling with the shock and horror of Tevya's tragic fate, found solace in the fact that justice had been served. Though it could never undo the profound loss they experienced, the accountability brought some semblance of closure to those affected by this gruesome crime. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel.